Welcome back, tribe. I just have to show you how woke and lost society is. I'll let this woman speak. She's 22 years old, she has no children, and she's getting her tubes tied. You think she's making the right decision?
I am 22 years old, I have no children, and I'm getting my tubes tied. Now, a lot of people would be very shocked by this claim. I'll tell you a few of the things that I have heard. That's such a permanent decision. Don't you think you're going to regret it one day? Oh, you're going to meet a lovely man and you're going to want children with him one day. Don't take away this opportunity to have kids. Oh, but the side effects, do you realize how invasive the procedure is? Why don't you just use the pill instead? Why don't you just use one of the reversible hormonal methods? Why don't you use the copper IUD instead? It doesn't have hormones, so it shouldn't affect you.
Her mocking voice is like she has such a punchable face. Like you could tell the brain cells hardly activate in there. And it's one of these people that think they know everything and talk down on everybody else when they're actually complete idiots.
No. Okay? To all of this, no. My family was even able to testify on my behalf and say that I have never had an interest in having children. Didn't matter if I was with a male or a female, or any time for that matter, I have never once decided that I want kids in the future. And here's what I told my doctors to convince them that I actually want this tubal ligation. I would rather regret losing the ability to have children and my life remains the status quo than have a child that I regret that I have to commit to for the rest of my life. Because in at least one of those scenarios, at least I get to choose what happens. Now, to the claim that I will meet a man one day and want to have children with him. I've already met that man. I don't want children with him. I love our relationship, and he doesn't care whether or not we have kids. He is very supportive of me making this decision. And if he wasn't supportive, he could fuck all the way off, because I will not ever be having children.
There you go. You answered your own question, Bozo, why he's even with you and why he agreed with that. Actually, I should say why he agreed with that. Because he's getting laid. And if he then told you that he wanted kids, which one day he will, and that's when he's going to leave you. But for now, he's got Easy Puss at the front door who puts out all the time. And he never has to worry about getting her pregnant because he's not ready for it. And she will never have kids because she's a brainwashed bozo. The dude is winning. This dude gets to have consequence-free sex with a woman that will never make him deal with consequences like getting pregnant. Winning, this is what feminism got you. The dude is getting everything he wants, and this chick is going to tie her tubes. And then one day soon, after those like horny 22-year-old years of like, I'm a boss, babe, bad, independent bitch, need no man. I'm just getting dick with zero consequences on her end also, because that's what she's doing. She's avoiding responsibility of safe sex, right? Zero accountability. And now she's going to regret this in a couple years, but she doesn't understand that in a couple of years, dude, the clock starts to tick. The mindset changes. You think at 22, you're the same person you are going to be at 30. Everything changes. You're going to look back at 22 and be like, you were an idiot. And you grew and matured as a person. That's why doctors dissuade you so much. And that guy, he's going to also get older and have the same things. Like, you know what, dude? Actually, I would like to step into the next chapter of manhood. I'd actually like to be a family man. I want to lead my own family. I want kids. This is a long road ahead of me. I got 30 plus, 60 plus years potentially of living. How could I not enjoy in the most like foundational human experience of having children? These people are messed up in the head. These realizations are going to hit these people. And older people try to tell them that all the time. It's like, hey, bro, we all thought the same shit at 20. I don't want kids. I don't want to get married. I don't want to deal with any of this. And it's like your mind changes as you get older and you realize what a retard you are and how much more important things are in life than what you realize.
For a man. As a woman, it is not my responsibility to bear children for a man. But that being said, I'm glad I'm not in that situation. God bless. Now, for the other two claims, here's the thing about hormonal birth control and how invasive the procedure is for the tubal ligation. First of all, at least with the tubal ligation, I get general anesthesia. I have undergone several IUD insertions and removals at this point, and they are so incredibly painful. I never got any pain management or anything. I did them completely raw. And let me tell you, I think that those are way more invasive, especially since you're awake, than being under general anesthesia and getting a little slip and a snip. Not to mention, I think having unalive ideation with every hormonal birth control method is invasive enough. It's not like I haven't tried them all. I have. The common denominator is all of them made me severely depressed.
She's got a point there. Birth control is absolutely garbage. Chemically wrecks a woman's body, is not good for them. I can't believe we as humans have the hubris to think we know how to manage a woman's hormones and that we give them these powerful pills that alter some of the most powerful substances within the human body that literally alters the way they think. Like, you take a woman off birth control, half of them don't like their husbands anymore. Like, if you meet your woman and she's on birth control, they typically like softer men on birth control. When they come off of birth control, they're fucking all like the club chads, the uber jack dudes. Like, they start to crave masculine men again. That's one simple alteration that does. Now, chemically, who knows what it does when these women, especially long term, are on this stuff for years. There's so much money to be made in birth control. You can hardly find real independent studies that show the issues without the industry itself having their hand in the pot, funding everything to show why you should be on these powerful drugs. They fuck up their weight. Women, some gain a ton of weight, some get a ton of acne. There are issues so far beyond. Every woman I've ever dated, when I was serious about them and wanted something long-term, I told you had to get off birth control if you were already on it. Not just for like their preferences, but honestly, like, you're wrecking your body. Half these women, what do you need birth control for? Let's just be honest. You're very lazy. You don't practice safe sex. You're probably sleeping around with too many dudes that you shouldn't even be sleeping around with, because half the time you're complaining that dick was trash, dude doesn't last, he wasted your time, you got ghosted, emotion, heartbreak, all this stuff. So it's like, just get off the fucking birth control. Stop letting bums hit. Take care of your body. Actually treat it like a temple instead of a garbage dump where you're dumping literal like pharmacological slop into your system just so you can get trash dick. And this is what the girlies say. Like, think about it for a second.
Let's start with the Nexaplanon. As you can see, I'm not BSing you. I did actually get the Nexaplanon when I was 16. Intense unexplained weight gain. I was an athlete. I practiced almost 7 days a week. And I was gaining weight like crazy. And when you are that young, and when your dream job is to model, and when you just want to feel beautiful in your own body, that is mentally devastating. Not to mention the breakthrough bleeding, which has always been a problem with me on every birth control method. I shouldn't have to bleed every day of my silly little life just because you won't give me a tubal. Now, you would probably say, oh, what about the shot? It's quick and easy and doesn't require any invasive procedures. Okay, I bled for the entire time that I was on that shot, never got it again, and I wanted to... I think that's enough for me to say no, because my mental health matters more than me having the ability to have kids.
The anti-natalist policies of feminism coming up to rear its ugly head. This is a woman that's going to regret this. Everybody's telling her. It's so sad that this is what society has come to, especially when you consider like those other episodes we did on feminism, especially the one where they got into a more advanced concept of why it came to be in its form. It's intrasexual competition. It's always been about mating. It's always been about reproduction. This entire feminism is a way, and this is going to piss so many people off, it's a way for ugly women to level the playing field with hot women who have all the access to the men. Because feminists, let's be honest, especially the early ones, were not good looking. They never got all the benefits of, quote, pretty privilege. So then the only way they could intrasexually compete was by convincing pretty women that men are the problem, that men are evil, that they need to decenter men, that they need to remove men from their lives. Meanwhile, the feminists, the ugly ones, are the ones in hypersexualization mode. They're the ones pushing sex on society. They're the ones trying to sexualize everything. They're the ones trying to gain access to men. That's all it's ever been. Feminism, in all its glory, was just a way for ugly women to get access to hot men that they could never compete with, because hot women never needed feminism. Attractive women always got what they wanted from men. Men hold doors for them. Men do their homework. Men pull over on the side of the street to help them with a flat tire. Men are always giving their time, attention, and resources to beautiful women. If you ask a beautiful woman, and you can see this when you talk to them too, beautiful women have nothing bad to say about men. They say they love society, they love what men are, they love what men represent. Men have done nothing but treat them kindly. They have positive experiences. Hot chicks tell you this. Hot chicks are like ironically the most down to earth cool women to deal with. It's the fives and the sixes and below that are the absolute harpies that you have to, because they're always insecure. One hot woman can just walk by and you see the guy that's like holding hands with this woman. If he even glimpses in her direction, that shit immediately she knows her man could be taken by that woman if she wanted to take him. So the insecurity comes up, and then you see her like start to make a scene. Look at the man all nasty, like, how dare you look? Bitch, I have eyeballs. That's why I'm looking. Are you fucking stupid? Obviously, she's hot. You noticed her before I noticed her, and then you were watching me to see my reaction. Women are always in competition mode with other women. Women, like, we represent to them like gold, you know, and hotter women represent like the ability to take someone's gold, like you would look at another guy that's like ultra strong and jacked. And it's like, if that dude wanted to, he could beat your ass and take your woman. So guys notice big dudes and they go, holy fuck, that dude's an animal. He's built like a brick house. Yeah. Well, women notice hotter chicks in the same way, but that difference is way more acute because a hot chick can take your man willingly whenever she wants. It's not like you're going to get in a physical confrontation with the brick house dude, because a gun can be pulled and you can end that shit, and physically you can hurt each other still. But for a woman, like a glance, an eye, you know, because just how women control sex, it's like, damn, that woman can take my man at any point. This is why they're constantly competing with one another on the men that they get. And this is why feminism has reared its ugly head, especially in the fourth wave, or whatever wave you want to call it, radical feminism. It's just going further down the mate selection, mate guarding path, you could say, where it's like uglier and fatter and more disgusting bull-nosed ring women are trying to convince all the pretty girls why they should be going their own way and decentering men. Because especially, you notice radical feminism is getting far more radical as men are pulling back and becoming more conservative. Have you noticed that they're going the other way? It's funny, huh? Because feminists need to constantly convince pretty women to completely let go of men, because now there's hardly any men to deal with, especially with the pressures, the dating pressures and the selective pressures of dating apps, where only the top percentile of men exist that are taking all the women. So how do you compete? You got to take all the women out of the dating pool. So make them crazier, give them bull rings, face tattoos, make them fat, rainbow colored hair. All of this shit comes down to the same shit it's come down to since caveman days. She wants a man, she wants his resources, she can't compete with the hotter chick, so how can she sabotage the hotter chick in order to get that kind of man? That's all it's ever been. Anyways, we'll cover more of that episode because it was so interesting. But at the same time, it's so sad that this is what society has become. Convincing women why kids are bad, convincing women to be like lonely spinsters, convincing women to just hand their body out to anybody and everybody over like a hookah and chill, and not value themselves, and then still blame men instead of blaming the women that literally seeded them with this idea of like, let's be a loose fucking bicycle for the town. And then it's not my fault that men are using me. It's not my fault that I can't find a good guy. It's not my fault that men don't like it that I do OnlyFans. No, it's men that need to change. Men need to compromise. Men need to lower their standards or change their standards completely. But God forbid a man has standards himself. If a man says like, I don't want a chick with tattoos, I don't want a chick that does OnlyFans, I don't want a fat chick, and I don't want a chick that's barren and tied her tubes, oh my God, you are a bigot. You are toxically masculine. Yeah, that's his toxic masculine. This is the patriarchy. You're a misogynist. They have a million words for a man who has preferences, but we got zero words for a woman with preferences. Isn't that strange? She's just empowered. She's a boss babe. It's positive when you're a woman with standards. But when you're a man with standards, this is the inversion that we're dealing with in society today, which is why men are pulling back. We're starting to see behind the curtain. This is all bullshit. This is the whole trust the experts. This is the whole like what the mainstream news is telling you. All of this is do the opposite. Do the opposite and you'll be happy. Do the opposite of what the news tells you. Do the opposite of what these so-called politicized mainstream experts are telling you. Trust the experts. They're all paid for to, toe the narrative of the administration. Fuck all of them, right? Fuck what mainstream ideologies are telling you, like feminism. No thanks. because look at what it's done to women. More unhappy than they've ever been, on more pharmacological drugs than they've ever been. 50% of liberal women are depressed. 50% of liberal women are taking SSRIs. That's crazy statistic, guys. Half of the blue hairs are incredibly unhappy with their lives. And it's like, oh, gee, does that shock anybody here listening and hearing that? They're like, oh yeah, liberal women, Karens and shit are deeply unhappy. No shit. They have no kids. Their only kids are their fucking animals. Dog mom, cat mom. I have fucking 6 ferrets. I'm a snake mom. It's like metastasizing into all this other shit. Your mothering nature wants to come out. And you're doing it to your dogs. I'm so sick of this dog mom, cat mom shit. Bitch, go have a baby already. It's a dog. And I love dogs. Trust me, I'm a big on Steve Irwin. I grew up on Discovery Planet or Animal Planet and Discovery Channel, and I love animals, but like you're taking it too far. You're treating your dog like it's a child. You're dressing them up. You're doing all this crazy shit. Bitch, get a kid already. Jesus, help us. Anyways, enough rambling here. We'll see you guys on the next one. Appreciate everybody in the private community, everybody starting their faceless channels that's joined. And everybody that's been getting some of the gear. You see, make masculinity great again. Thank you for everybody that's been getting all that apparel. It helps. We don't do any commercials on the channel. We're not pushing stupid creams for your face or fucking razors or any of this dumb shit. All self-funded. One-man army. Don't have a team of producers, editors, none of that shit. Just me. So appreciate you guys for tuning in every day. We'll see you on the next one.